I'm sick of this job, taking all the taxes out. I feel like I'm on a plantation. I want my freedom. I'm sick of this house and I'm having to pay house note. I'm having to pay taxes. I want my freedom. I'm sick of these peoples who don't even know how to act right. They don't know law. I am sick of the police who keep coming at me. I want my freedom. Do you want your freedom? We're going to talk about how you can get your freedom. I'm yours truly, Diva Laree, the UNA University and UNA Republic. How do you get your freedom? Let's talk about it right here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do it. Yes. UNA. Yeah. Come on. Yes. UNA. Do I need to do my dance today? Yeah. My hair don't move. Yeah. UNA. Welcome everybody. You. I'm yours truly, Diva Laree. This is an open session on this December 2nd, 2022. Who is in the house? Welcome everybody. Yours truly, Diva Laree. We are dealing with today. I want my freedom. I want my freedom now. Last time I was here, we spoke about some universal laws, all right? And we talked about your vibratory frequency and how important it is that your energies are right so that you can manifest what you're desiring. I want to say welcome to Anthony, Nelson. Who else is in the house? FTW, Anthony, Bench, Bichud, Jazz. Welcome, and welcome. All right, so once again, yours truly, Diva Laree. I am here with the UNA University and UNA Republic. We are dealing with today, you want your freedom. Let's talk about it. Let's get your freedom. All right, this is an open session. And so we're going to get into this now. Y'all check the links in the bio. I want y'all to like and share. If you're in the house, say something. Say something so I know you're in the room. Say something so I know you're in the room. And we're going to get on this thing today. Now, for those of you who don't know, you're not familiar with UNA. UNA stands for United Nations from America. UNA is a sovereign nation of sovereign people. All right. So when you come in and you join us or you do any products with us, this is all about getting your education and knowing how to stand. All right. We are a sovereign nation that's vouching for you as another sovereign nation. All right. So if you're interested, check us out at unarepublic.com, unauniversity.com. All right. And you can also check us on YouTube and TikTok under UNA Republic. All right. So let's get into this thing. Today, I want to go into dealing with your freedom. Now, when I get people coming in and they're wanting their trust and they're wanting to declare their nationality and they want to deal with status and all of that, I have to make sure they understand that freedom deals with more than just paperwork. So a lot of people who are just thinking, and I've had so many people come to me and they say, Diva, I paid this guy to do my sovereign papers and I'm still not free. Well, that's because it's not just about paperwork, all right? As a matter of fact, I want to put this up here because this is the hierarchy of law chart. And I want y'all to go and pull that down. You can go and pull the hierarchy of law chart down from UNA University, unarepublic.com/docs, DOCS, D as in David, O as in Oscar, C as in Charlie, S as in Sam, all right? And I'm going to post it here so that we can take a look at it real quick, because it's a really powerful chart to help you understand where you stand in this whole game with all of these different laws, all right? It's very important. Let me pull it down so that we can see this and understand this game. All right. This is the hierarchy of law chart. And today I want to deal with these laws right up here, universal laws, all right? And we're going to go into some natural law as well, which is what we did last time I was here. So I'm going to go into this. But I want to go make sure we understand this, all right, before I jump out of here. So right here, we're sovereigns. And this is a set of laws. You are a walking set of laws, all right? As a sovereign, you're a walking set of laws. So what we have to understand is that it's not just about the paperwork. You got to understand where you are right here. You've got to understand contract law. You've got to understand the value of treaties and your constitution. You create your own constitution, which stands above the United States Constitution, United States of America Constitution, and any of the original constitutions. Your constitution, you learn how to create laws, all right, and your federal codes. It's more than just that, though. These laws right here, this is where we start. This is the basis of everything UNA stands on, universal laws. And I went into that about manifesting last time. If y'all didn't get it, go check it out before it disappears. Denise, Luis, welcome. All right. So universal laws, very important. And we're going to go into them today so that you can understand and recognize how to start manifesting what you desire in your third dimension. All right, let's get on it. Now, we've understood that it's more than just paperwork. And why I go on the universal laws so strongly is because whenever somebody comes to me with an issue, whether it be for their job or there's some domestic violence or the police is coming at them or whatever it is, it always starts on a spiritual level, always. Always. Everything starts on a spiritual level. And the more you know about these higher laws up here, the more you can manipulate and manifest everything under here. This becomes child's play when the cops are coming at you and these corporations right here, all right? Now, let's understand something. If you want freedom, ignorance and freedom do not coexist. They don't go together at all. Ignorance and freedom, they do not coexist. So if you want to have freedom, you have to have knowledge, all right? You have to get knowledge of what these laws are. This is very important. But most important than that, universal laws. We're going to go into those right now. The importance of the universal laws, all right? Universal laws the main premise of universal laws is whatever energy you put out must come back. It's very important, friends. Whatever energy you put out must come back. I want to go into that, all right? Right here. This is the universal laws chart, all right? The one I went over last week, law of compensation. This is one of my favorite laws when I'm wanting to manifest things. Right here, law of compensation. All right. What I want to deal with today is knowing laws and the fact that it's, how to deal with these laws and manifest the things that you desire in your third dimension. Now, talked about vibratory frequency. All right. I want to get on this. I'm going to pull this up so we can understand vibratory frequency. Here we go. Very important. All right. vibratory frequency. Look down here in these lower frequencies. Anger and pride, desire, fear, grief. Some of us down here, shame and apathy, guilt. We don't want to be down here. This is, if you're operating in this level, then you're not operating in your right mind. If you're angry about your job or your taxes or whatever, you're operating down here. You're not operating in your right mind. We want to be up here. We want to be up here and accept this. Well, okay, I accept what I'm seeing. Let's deal with it so we can take it to another level. Let's make sure we're having love for whatever we're doing in this third dimension, because the more you're showing love, the more you're up here in these higher frequencies, the more you're going to manifest exactly what you desire. What am I talking about? Let's get on this now. Let's deal with this. Job. All right, this, because we've got a lot of people who have you're working on a job, and I hear people say, well, that's my plantation job. And all right, so what we want to learn to do is to change our energies around the job. All right, anytime, again, you're having these lower vibratory frequencies about anything, you need to change your attitude about what it is that you're doing. Because as soon as you do, then a whole bunch of doors are going to open up for you for what you desire to do. So what am I speaking about? All right. So for example, if you have this job, all right, that you don't care for, what you want to do is you want to be grateful, first of all, for it, especially if it is paying your bills. Be grateful. This is one of the things that we have to get back into doing. Showing gratitude for everything. Even if you think it's not worth showing gratitude for, you want to show gratitude. I'm going to tell you why. You've got to understand that when you have a thought, pay attention to this. When you have a thought, every cell in your vessel can hear and see what you're thinking. Every cell in your vessel. As a matter of fact, I have people ask me, I'm like, Diva, how many people does it take to create a nation? Okay, you got to understand, you are a nation all by yourself. Listen to me, because those who are playing this game, they know full well who you are and what you are. You are a nation all by yourself. You are made up of many different spiritual beings. Those playing this game, they know that. You don't know that. You don't know that you are a universe. Somebody told you, somebody tried to tell you, you just didn't listen to them. You are a universe. You are a nation. And then this is why we have all of these, when we are declaring things, we're declaring our nation, we're declaring our universe, we are declaring this planet. Because once again, you are made up of every element on the planet that makes you walking earth. You are a walking state, in fact, a set of laws. All right. So now we're understanding that. All right. And every being that makes up your vessel hears and sees every thought that you think. And this is why we want to be very careful about our thoughts and the energies and the images that we're feeding our nation within. Okay, y'all know the term imagination? Imagination. That deals with the image. So we break it down because all of these words, remember, a letter, every letter is a word. And then when you put those letters together, you're creating a contract. All right. So let's break this term imagination down. We have the first syllable, image, or two syllables, image, as in a picture. In, meaning within or inside of. Nation, meaning a group of entities that have come together. All right. Imagination, the image within you. What images are you feeding the nation within you? That's what imagination means. And you got to understand, again, these terms are not just a happenstance term, meaning happenstance, meaning that word doesn't just appear out of nowhere for no reason. The term imagination is specifically speaking about images that you're feeding to your nation within. So understand this. Your thoughts or your imagination can be seen by every spiritual entity within you, and you are made up of many. So let's recognize that when we're having a thought, we want to make sure it's on a higher vibratory frequency up here. As a matter of fact, I don't even need to show these. Just look up here. This up here. Enlightenment, peace, joy, love, reason. This is why we want to be up here. So that when you give your nation within an image, it is positive. Why is that important? It's important because it is your nation that is creating your third dimension. It's important because it is your nation within you that creates your third dimension outside of you. The fact that we haven't been told these things is why we can be manipulated by the media, by the people around us, by society, with all of this garbage they're telling us. You're the one who's creating everything in your third dimension with the thoughts that you're putting in your mind, with the images that you're showing your nation within. I hope y'all getting this, because once we start to recognize this, you're going to see your whole world change. You're going to see your whole world change, and you get to the ability to make it be what you desire. All right. So in recognizing who you are as a nation, and that every image that you feed your nation needs to be positive, so you can manifest out here. Because also what I just said, every image that you show, your nation is going to manifest it for you. All right. That takes me to the next part of this topic is, if you're thinking negative thoughts, your body is going to manifest it. Your spiritual entities within you, you're going to manifest that. All right. And let's understand something, because a lot of people say, well, I didn't ask for this and I didn't ask for that. And you don't recognize that you're manifesting at all times. At all times you're manifesting. So let's understand some things about our thoughts, our words, and our actions. All right. So a lot of times, we're not recognizing this English language. I want to go on this English language just a little bit, because we've been made to believe, and I'm going to deal with this when I go into history, but we've been made to believe that the Albion created the English language. That is not true. As I told you all before, look up the Phoenicians. All right. Those were a melanated group. They come from, according to research, around the area where the 12 tribes come from. All right. These are people who knew phonetics. So when you hear the term Phoenicians, you hear the term phonetic, people who understood language and words. And again, they fully understood that every letter was a word. And that when you speak these words, then you start creating spells. And when you put them in contracts, they become a curse. All right. That's why your sentences have a period at the end. So you got to understand that all of these terms, they have a meaning. All right. Language. And this is why you had spelling in school, and why they stopped teaching you how to write in cursive, because that's a very powerful tool. All right. So what happens is that you've got to recognize that this language that we know of as English, it was created by the Phoenicians. These were melanated people. These were people who knew how to write contracts and bind people to contracts, and they did black magic, black business practices. All right. So now, these are your ancestors. All right. These were you. And this is why this is why we melanated people are caught up in this language. Why? Because they created this language purposely purposely to throw people off on a spiritual level. Mostly everything we're saying in this language is backwards. For example, when I say intelligent, intelligent, in means not. So that means you're not intelligent. Tell means to speak something. Gent means such a way that people understand it, that it's accepted by people. Intelligent. In meaning not intelligent. So the Phoenicians created this English language, and they purposely taught it to who they taught it to. Now, this going in history, I won't stay on this because I'm going to get into a session about how we're being lied to about so many things. But this was taught to the Albion. It was first taught to them for the purpose of throwing them off on a spiritual level. They want us to believe that we melanated people came to this land in chains and we were slaves. But there's so much going on there that I'm not getting into here. The bottom line I need you to understand is that this language was created for the purpose of discombobulating those who speak it. I want to say thank you for the rose. Who gave me that rose? Denise and Tony and Sunset Beach is in the house. Thank you for sharing. Do like and share. And thank you all for being here. Someone gave me a rose. I want to say thank you. Lotus, thank you for being here. That was Tony. Thank you, Tony. All right. So now, getting back on this. All right. So understanding that these Phoenicians came in and they are the ones who created this language that we call English, and it is created for the purpose of discombobulating anyone who speaks it. Now, if you learn how to master the language, then you can use it to enhance yourself, and that's what we're talking about today, how to use this language to enhance yourself. All right, so now we're getting on the job and remembering that when you speak about your job, when you have a thought about your job, as opposed to, oh, this is my plantation thing, I'm sick of this, and we want to change our attitude about it. Why do we want to change our attitude? Because you've got to think about when you're speaking, how you would feel if you had a child coming to you and they were constantly complaining. All right. When you speak like that, you're constantly complaining to your universe or your nation within, as though, oh, this is not good enough. I'm frustrated. I'm aggravated. And remember, every time you're thinking that, every time you're speaking that, you are manifesting that into your future. Every time you're thinking a negative thought, every time you're speaking negative words, you are manifesting it into your future. Why? Because your subconscious, which is all of your nation within you, they can only produce what you say you desire. And even if you don't think you saying you desire this, if you're focused on it, if you're thinking about it, if you're speaking it, if you're writing it, that is your desire. And that is exactly what your universe, your nation within, your subconscious, that's exactly what it's got to produce for you, what you said. But I said I ain't want it, Diva. I said I didn't want. Okay, that's that English language for you. So we're going to go into this. Your subconscious does not understand not. That's why this language created to throw you off. When you start speaking terms, listen, when the language got corrupted, the people became corrupted. All right. So we're going to correct our language. We're going to correct what we're saying. We're going to correct our syllables. And it's going to take time. But let's understand what's going on. Even when I say understand, I won't go into it. I normally like to say cognizant. I'm still working on mine too. But I want to go into this term where we're talking about recognizing the term not and no. You know, your spirit, your nation within does not understand or recognize no. So for example, the term nonviolence and peace are not the same. So we're thinking, I'm nonviolent. non-violent. All right. That's not the same as saying peace. Because when you said non-violent, your subconscious heard violence. That's it. Your subconscious does not understand the no, because why? We as spiritual entities cannot live. Listen, that term not is so embedded in our psyche and in our everyday life that we have to learn how to get around that term. But you can only live in the now. That's it. So whatever you speaking, this is what you're manifesting. And so if you're using a term, for example, like nonviolent, all your subconscious hears is violence. And that's what you're going to be living in, because that's what you are manifesting in your future. You're just bringing it in. Nonviolent. And you thinking you said peace. That's not what you said. If you want peace, say peace. That's it. Anything that has a none on the front of it, or none this and none that, again, that's that English language. And it's discombobulating you on a spiritual level. This is why it's important to start recognizing how powerful your words are. Everything starts from the spirit. And let's understand this, as I've told you all before. All right, pay attention to this. What we have not been told is that we are spiritual entities. We don't die. You don't die. I mean, your vessel expires, but you as a spiritual entity, you've been here before. Y'all have had deja vu and all this where you have a dream and you wake up and you never been to this place in your dream, but a week or 2 weeks later, you see this place that you never been to, but you saw it in your dream. You're like, well, how I never been here? Well, that's because that's your spirit that moves without your vessel. People telling, I had this, I was dreaming and I saw myself and I looked down on myself and I see myself in the bed and sleeping and I was, whatever. Your spirit has always been and it always will be. So I'm telling you that so that you can understand that a part of you recognizes language. It understands what these syllables are that you're saying, even though you don't. Well, those who created this language fully understood that you are an eternal being. You always were, always will be. So when you're saying these words and these syllables and you're not understanding or recognizing what these terms mean, then you're damning yourself. You're spelling on yourself. And so this is why when you have your thoughts, make them positive. Always. If there's something that you feel negative about, it gives you some kind of bad energy where you down here on this lower vibratory frequency, find a way to change it. So I'm going to go back into the job. For example, your job needs to be looked at as something you're grateful for. Thank you. I'm very grateful that I have this job. I'm grateful for the health to get up, be able to get up and go and do it. I'm grateful that it's bringing me funds so I can take care of this, and this for my child. I can feed my child. I can feed myself. I can pay for gas. I can go and do this. I am grateful. Now, when you start putting that kind of energy on whatever you do in this world, in your everyday life, all kind of doors are going to open up for you, because you are telling your nation, you are telling your subconscious that you're appreciative. You're showing love and happiness. And so this, when you hear people, that's why I hear people, well, I don't have no money, Diva. I can't do this. And that's because you're in the wrong mindset. We got to change our mindset to where we're up here. You change your mindset to this, money is not going to be an issue. Change your mindset to this, you're not going to have. If you have any kind where you're doing something that it's like, oh Lord, okay, we want to find a way to change that, flip it. And I'm going to go into the universal laws now. So that, and if anybody wants to come on and share anything or have any questions, I would love to have you. hit me up. Let's do this. All right. So now I want to go on these universal laws right here. All right. So I told you law of compensation was one of my favorites. All right. In this, I want to get into just recognizing the law of attraction right here. Law of attraction. All right. And let me see if I can pull this up real quick. Law of attraction deals with the fact that you are going to attract to you whatever your thoughts are. All right. If your thoughts are negative, that's who you're attracting. If you think like you got a broke mindset, those are the people who you're going to attract to you. But as soon as you start thinking on another level, for example, and I talked about this in the last session, all right? For me, and I'm opening up these universal laws, but for me, the people who I deal with, all right, because, I hear people like, our people ain't this and our people ain't that. Let me tell you something. My people are highly intelligent. My people know law. They have integrity. All right. And they're trustworthy. Those are my people. If you are in this mindset of, oh, my people ain't this and my people ain't that, you better recognize you are manifesting those people. They are your reflection. Once again, the law of attraction, you attract what you think and what you speak. If you don't have these laws, go to UNARepublic.com/docs, DOCS, D as in David, O as in Oscar, C as in Charlie, S as in Sam. Go and download this universal law chart. It's very important. You can download everything in that folder. All right. So now you've got to recognize that if everything you speak, remember, your every thought is seen by every cell in your body. And every cell in your body is its own universe, an own spiritual entity, all by itself. So when you're talking to it, when you're feeding the nation within you images in your imagination, please recognize that is exactly what it's going to manifest for you. What do you want your nation to manifest for you? What do you want your subconscious to manifest for you? What do you want your universe to manifest for you? Put it in here. So make sure it's positive, because everything you put in here, and I mean everything, you are going to manifest it in your future. That's why when somebody's coming to me talking about, well, Diva, this happened to me and this I can't do this. Not, I know what you've been feeding your nation. I can see it from your outside. All right. If you want something different, change your mindset, change your attitude. All right. So getting back to the people who we deal with, for example, you're attracting, law of attraction. You're attracting the people via your own mindset. This is why it's important. It's very important that when we're speaking, let me say something to you. Every thought creates an energy in your third dimension. Every thought you have creates an energy in your third dimension. Now, when you speak it, you've given it life. Soon as you speak it, really, when you think it, you've given it life. But when you speak it, you've given it life. When you write it down, you've given it flesh. So when you're on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, any of these, when you're typing, you are creating a law. You're giving an idea life. So you want to be careful about what you're typing, especially when you're talking about your people. I can't tell you how many times I've heard people saying negative things. And again, you got to recognize the power of your words. When you speak it, you've given it life. Then you go on to social media and start typing it. Yeah, that's what the people who you typed about, that's who's going to show up in your dimension. Well, I said I ain't want them kind of people, but that's what I'm trying to tell the universe. The universe only recognizes what you say, and it does not recognize none. And so if you're speaking negative, change that energy, because that's what's going to show up, the negative. If you only like positive, if you only desire positive in your future, because listen, we only live right here and now. So whatever you speak right here and now, that's what's got to show up. It doesn't have a choice. So be aware of the power of your thoughts, your words, and your energies. Writing. All right. So now, for me, like I told you, the people who I deal with, they have integrity. These are people who are honest, intelligent, wanting to learn. Those people I deal with. As a matter of fact, they are people, when we go out, the kind of people who I go out with, we hang out and we go out to eat. Like I told you, I got you. No, I got you. No, I got you. No, I got you. We arguing over who gonna pay the check. By the time we leave, like the waitress or the waiter, they got a $30, $40, $50 check because we putting this money out. Why? Because we understand law. We understand when we give, we have to get it back. We deal with the universe. We contract with the universe. See, y'all busy. Oh, I'm gonna invest in the stock market. I'm gonna invest in the Bitcoin, and I'm investing in Forex. Okay, when y'all start investing in the universe, because the universe be giving some serious returns, y'all are just not recognizing it. The universe is hooking us up. As soon as you start recognizing it, you're not going to be talking about you don't have no money. You're going to know how to go to the universal bank. Look, law of compensation. If y'all didn't catch this, I went in it about how to get your money. Right here, the universal bank. That's when you're not worried about your investment. Okay. I want to welcome everybody. Denise, Tony, who else is in the house? Glowing, Natasha. All right. If anybody has anything to say, if you got any comments, questions, any disagreements, I want to hear it. Let me hear it. All right, now. So we're understanding this. There's a difference between nonviolence versus peace. If you want peace, say peace. I get into this thing where I'll ask people, I'll say, well, what do you desire? What is it that you want? And they start talking about, well, I tell you what I don't want. I don't want this kind of this, and I don't want that, and I'm sick of this. And I said, hello? I said, what do you want? Not what you don't want, because remember, every time you start talking about that, that's what you're manifesting. Do this exercise for yourself. This is your homework. All right? This is your homework. Sit down and write what you desire. Even just when you're sitting there thinking about it. Because a lot of times people go into the net. Well, I'm sick of, that's not what we want. What we need to be speaking on is exactly what we desire, not what you don't. That's very important. Remember that. Thank you, Tony. All right. And I spoke about who our people are. Again, this is important, friends. Do not, who are you hanging around? If you're hanging around people who are talking negative about anybody, I encourage you to put a positive spin on it some kind of way, or leave them alone. If you can't get them to spend their energy to be positive, then you want to move away from them. All right, because remember, when people are speaking to you, they're planting seeds in your mind. All right, so when you start speaking on your people, all right, and by the way, if you're around people like that, they are your reflection, by the way. So no need of talking negative about them. If those are the kind of people who you're dealing with, check yourself, because they are your reflection. Everybody in your dimension is your reflection. So what you want to do, if you're finding that, check yourself first, because as soon as you check yourself, that being that you're dealing with, they're going to have to either disappear or they're going to change. One or the other. There's not going to be two ways about that. When you are too busy checking yourself, you don't have time to diss nobody else. That's very important. We're getting to that level where, look, I'm too busy. As a matter of fact, I know if you in my face, you are my reflection. If you saying certain things, I got to check me. These are the universal laws. This is what we're not told. This is why we end up getting played so hard in this game, because we don't recognize these laws. Once again, go download these laws. Because these laws and the hierarchy of laws, they're going to change your life. That's what we hear about. We're here to change our lives. All right? So we know how to play this game. So when you start working on yourself, you're going to be so busy, focused on correcting yourself, because if these people are in my face, that's the universe telling me I got some work to do. As soon as you start correcting yourself, they're going to disappear. A whole different group of people going to come into your dimension. All right? So we've talked about that. Now, going back to the beginning, just making sure we are understanding and clear on what we're speaking on today. All right? If you want freedom, you must have knowledge of self. All right? These universal laws and the hierarchy of law are going to help you get knowledge of self. All right? You cannot, this is not about paperwork. Somebody is not going to be able to just file some paperwork for you and then all of a sudden, I'm free. No, that's not how it works. You have to know this law. It has to be a part of you. You have to be able to, when an agent come at you, a cop, you have to be able to say, hey, I'm under trust. I'm not under your jurisdiction. You don't have authority over here. All right, you need to back off. You need to know how to, if you need to, sue them. You need to know what happens when the IRS comes at you, when the CIA comes at you. You need to know what to say, how to handle yourself. All right, those are important. But above that, when you are intact with these laws here, all that other stuff, that becomes child's play. Or everything else becomes child's play. Because everything starts from a spiritual level. Universal laws deal with whatever energy you put out must come back. This is when we're talking about karma. Karma is nothing more than a universal principle. All right? So once you have an understanding of these laws, and let me say this too, because when I'm talking about the universal laws, I'm not talking about, sometimes, it'll be like that. Sometimes it's not. Or, sometimes if you black, it sometimes it will, and sometimes one, and you white, it will. But sometimes maybe not. No, we're talking about, these are laws. These not like man's laws. These are mama's laws. The highest. Universal law, Mama Nature. And so when we're talking about these laws, these are set. So you want to make sure that you're aware of those and recognizing, once again, freedom and ignorance do not coexist. If you want freedom, you must have knowledge. If you want freedom, you must have knowledge. You got to seek your knowledge so that you can get out of this game. You're not going to vote your way out of this game. You ain't going, please, help me, please, your way out of this game. No, you have to have knowledge. Knowledge of self and knowledge of the higher laws, and then the other laws we're talking about, maxims of law, trust and treaties. You got to understand those. All right. If you're interested in learning this information, join us. Go to UNA University. You can go there. You can you can leave a message in the inbox, and we'll make sure we get to you. If you want to have a consultation, we'd be glad to do a consultation. January is when our season starts, and we go over all of these laws. We go over the universal laws, of course. because that's the basis of what UNA stands on. We go over the maxims of law and these laws concerning your freedom. We go over that, trust law. We also deal with tax laws as well. So when you're ready to file your taxes and all of that, you want to come to us so that we can help you out, all right? And also, we don't just do it for you. We teach you how to do it so that you can help somebody else. That's what's important about what we do with UNA and UNA University. We want you to know how to do it so you can teach somebody else, teach your family, teach whomever, all right? So I want to thank you all. If I have any questions, let me see if I have any questions. And then I'm going to get out of here. If I don't have any questions, I'm starting to get good at this TikTok thing. I hope y'all appreciate it. And I am appreciating you all. Do I have any questions, any comments, any thoughts, any disagreements? Anybody want to? Thank you, Tony. Tony says so true. Tony says, love what I'm hearing. Thank you, Tony, for the love and for the flower. Peace and blessings, everyone. That's Natasha from upstate New York. All right. Who else? And thank everybody for sharing. I really do appreciate you for sharing it. Denise, thank you. Greetings. Luis, good evening. Let's see. That was UNA University. Let's see. Thank you, Denise. I enjoyed you. Good job. Thank you, Tony. All right, I'm going to get out of here. If you all have any comments, please hit us up in the inbox. All right. Hit me up in the inbox so we can get with you. And don't forget, we're going to see you all Sunday at 2 o'clock for our open session. If you got any questions or anything that you want, thank you, the great Yahuda. The great Yahuda. I'm sorry. The great Yahuda. Thank you. I'm out. Diva, I love y'all. We're going to see you all next time, Sunday. Hit us up so that we can get you into the university. I love you. I'm out. Diva. Bye-bye. Yes, yes, yes. UNA. Yeah.